Hey guys, earlier on today there was a new Anthem live stream where Mike Gamble, Ben Irving, and Jonathan Warner revealed some pretty interesting and new things for us. So it's the first time that we actually got a look at the perspective of the Interceptor Javelin. And if you're not familiar, there'll be 4 Javelins available at launch in Anthem. We've seen the perspectives of the Ranger, the Colossus, and the Storm, but we've yet to see some Interceptor gameplay. The Interceptor is a very fast and agile javelin, and it can focus on melee close quarters combat. What made this stream even more interesting is that they showed off a Stronghold mission. Now, if you're not familiar with what Strongholds are in Anthem, Strongholds are basically going to be like strikes in Destiny. Much longer than a normal story mission that might take 15 to 20 minutes, a Stronghold will require you to tackle multiple objectives during the mission, work together well with your teammates, and then take on a final boss towards the end. We saw a little bit of a Stronghold in a gameplay teaser that they had earlier on this year at E3, and at the very end they take on this huge spider boss, and it looked like it was going to be a very long and intense battle. The Stronghold that they showed off was called Temple of the Scar, so this is sure to have a ton of Scar enemies, and then have the promise of a huge boss towards the end. They said they were playing this Stronghold with character levels of 20, which would mean you probably completed 3/4 of the main storyline of the game. We don't know exactly how long that's going to be. I'm hoping that the main storyline of the game isn't something that's 5 or 6 hours, to get a full-fledged storyline to kind of set it apart from games in this genre. They said with Strongholds you have to have 4 players, but they were able to set it up with 3. We had the perspective of the Interceptor, and it was strictly focused on a melee type of build. The Storm was also there, and was mainly focusing on priming enemies, so using the ice abilities to prime the enemies, and then the other characters could use their abilities to detonate those primed enemies to create that combo damage. The third Javelin in this Stronghold was the Colossus, and it was said to have a tank type of build. It had things to help protect the other more fragile javelins in the group. One thing you notice right away with the Interceptor is its very fast-paced gameplay, and compared to the Ranger and the Colossus, it's just really frantic, and the melee build I think helped that because he's up close and personal, jumping in and out, flying around, just moving all around as much as he possibly can, not really standing still and shooting. They even showed off the ultimate ability, which is a timed ability where you get to just melee everything in sight, and I think you're invulnerable at this point, so you can't take any damage. And he just goes in and just starts meleeing everything that he possibly can. They mentioned something interesting as well. The first time you do a Stronghold of any kind, there will be a lot of dialogue from your cipher. So the little voice inside your head telling you, where to go, what to do next, what to expect. But each time you do that same Stronghold again, there will be less dialogue. So you won't hear the same exact lines over and over and over, especially when some of those things can become kind of annoying. If you have to hear the same line over and over, if you're doing a Stronghold multiple times, you don't need that much hand holding after you've already done it a few times. You kind of know what you're doing at this point. So I think it's a good idea that they kind of limit the dialogue from the cipher when you've already completed a Stronghold, and each time that you do it, the dialogue gets less and less. Another thing you definitely notice about the Interceptor build that he had, he hardly used weapons at all. He was just mainly focusing on his abilities and the melee combat, flying in and out, basically just zipping around and fighting enemies without taking that much damage, because by the time the enemies were attacking, he was already gone. I'm sure you can make your own build of an Interceptor and use guns and have that be the primary focus, but I think that the melee combat is definitely going to be one of the main things of the Interceptor build, obviously, because if you look at the ultimate, that's basically what it is. Now during the Stronghold, they had to complete objectives in order to move from area to area, room to room. So whether it was clearing out all the enemies in the area, disabling alarms, placing fuel containers by a door in order to open it, by setting off an explosion, defeating the turrets that were in the area, you had to work together with your team to complete a set of objectives in order to move on during the mission. They didn't show the entire thing, they only showed a small portion of it, but you can see that the combat in Anthem is going to be a lot of fun. Towards the very end of the stream, a question was asked about raids in Anthem. Strongholds are not going to be raids. Some people believe that the Strongholds are the longest type of mission in the game, but they did mention that they want to talk about something so bad, but they can't really talk about it yet. And everyone will probably assume that that's going to be the raid type of mission or type of gameplay in Anthem. Now, what will that be called? What exactly will it be like? We'll have to just wait for more information, but there will be something greater than Strongholds in this game. Like I said, I think Strongholds are more close to the strikes in Destiny, a much longer type of mission where you have to go through stages of the mission in order to find the boss at the end to complete it, and then you get a certain amount of loot as you're going through the game, and definitely towards the end after completing it. Something that I definitely think is going to be a lot of fun with friends, even fun to just matchmake with other players. The Strongholds seem like they're going to be a nice change of pace compared to some of the other gameplay that we've seen. While still story driven, it's more about the loot and the combat when you're facing a Stronghold mission, because it's something that you can complete over and over. You can increase the difficulty to try and challenge yourself and increase the chances of you getting better loot, all the while having fun playing the game. I just pre-ordered Anthem, so I'm going to get that early access from January 25th to 27th, that VIP demo that we can play, and I want to share that with you. They said that you can actually stream that, so that's something that I'm going to do. I want to stream Anthem for you guys so you can take a look for yourself. If you don't want to pre-order the game, just let me do that for you. I'll pre-order it, I'll play it, answer any questions that I can while I'm playing it. That way you can make a nice informed decision on if you want to play the game. When the demo comes out on February 1st to the 3rd, for anyone that wants to play the game, you can download it, play the demo, and decide if you want to buy the game when it comes out on February 22nd. I'm very excited for this game. I can't wait for it to come out. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play with friends or even just play by yourself. It's one of those games that you can just play and not have to worry about getting bored, because I think the combat and the aerial traversal and everything included is just going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. I just wanted to make sure to share that latest information with you. If you do enjoy this content, definitely give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to stay up to date on all of my content. Remember to follow me on Twitter and join my Discord. The links are in the description below. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Until next time, I'll see you later.